Hello folks, and welcome to another Incredi builds video. As promised, I'm going to be doing the Star Wars Star Destroyer to continue where I left off in the previous video. So without further ado, let's get into the packaging and remove what we need. So that's the instructions, and only one sheet of woodwork with this one, and as you can see, the book again is full of interesting details: the commanders, the superstar destroyers, the resurgents, and there we go, how they were made, original drawings and all sorts. A very informative little book and well worth a read at some point. Okay, so Star Destroyer. Let's bring the camera down so that you can see what I'm actually building. As you can see, detailed on one side again, but with this one you wouldn't really notice it anyway, as long as you've got top and bottom detail and the back side, you'll be fine. Okay, here we go. So instruction sheets off to one side as usual, and we need part 1 and part 2. So part 1 is here, nice large chunky piece. Just be gentle with it at the tips, you don't want to be breaking them off. There we go. And then part 2 is the superstructure internals itself. So there we go, that's number 2 to one side, and number 2 sits right there and slots in nice and neat all the way to the second frame. There you go. And then part 3, again, piece of the superstructure here. Not going to be messing about with this one. Hopefully, unlike the last 2 or 3, we won't have a broken part. So that goes adjacent to the previous one, pushed all the way down nice and firm, and then already we turn the sheet and we go for part 4. Again, superstructure, decreasing in size all the time. These are number 4 goes right there, nice and tight, and then we take part 5, which is the smallest of all, there. Now these aren't, that I'm aware of, hasn't said anything about what's your orientation on those parts, but as you can see, superstructure nice and neat and all in alignment, ready for coverings. There we go. So the next part is actually superstructure. So I need, there we go, part 7, instruction 7, part 6, which is the top side. Just making sure I've got the right part. No, that's part 9. I was holding it upside down, so there's the first mistake already. So part 6, top side superstructure, coverings. There we go. Put part 9 to one side, put them to one side, and as you can see, this sits on there, and then it sits on the tabs on the underside. So once you've got it in place, make sure you press it firmly into place on all the framing. There we go. Nice, neat and tidy, and all the way located down, like so. Okay, and then we need the opposite side, which is here, and we do exactly the same again. Locate and press firmly. And as you heard, very nice to hear the clicks of the timber. And there you have the top side of your Star Destroyer. Okay, there we go. Now then, we then go to part 10. No, we don't. According to this, we do, but we don't, because I know that's wrong. We go to the underside and do exactly the same again. So part 8 and part 9 are wanted. So exactly the same again, only there's no tuck and fold this time. You're actually going to part the stand unit separate to the ship itself, and hopefully that's a nice tight fit into the stand itself. There we go. As you heard, nice tight fit into the superstructure, and it locks in under the base itself just here. So there you go, you get a better view of it there. And you do exactly the same with part 9. So apply centrally and flat, and then as with the previous part, slide your finger in there, and there we go. So there's your basic Star Destroyer, all put together, nice and neat. Touch wood, no breakages so far, and neat and tidy to boot. Okay, so now we turn it over, and then we go for part 10 and part 11. Now these parts I've got to search for. So part 10 is there, and part 11 is alongside it. So put that to one side. There's part 10. Now we start to build up the command area and bridge. And there we go. Already it's starting to look something. And then we need part 12 and 13, which are these two. I'll take those out, put that to one side. So part 12 goes on this side here. Make sure I'm locating it in the right place. It appears that I am. Yep, onto there. Just slide it all the way on. Like so. There's a slight raise area there right underneath your piece, so make sure that you don't force it onto your two lugs and then snap the part. Okay, so on like so, and then this one's going to be difficult. Okay, so we'll try that again. On and click, there we go, and then align in with the lugs, there your pressure point, and there you go. So that's the outer area of the command area. So now we turn the sheet, and we need part 14 and 15. Okay, and these are located same sort of area further on. It's basically like putting your step system together. That can't be right. That wouldn't overlap that. No, it wouldn't. That would. Okay. That's so tight. It's unreal. That is really, really tight there. Try again. That's where I want to. Wow, that is, this is extremely tight. Just have a bit of patience with it. Well, eventually it's gone in, but that was extremely tight, that piece. I don't, that's got to have been one of the tightest parts I've ever fitted. On one of these kits. And this one's the same. Let's try and jiggle it. Okay, there we go. Okie doke. So we've got some more. Bit of a jiggle. There we go, a bit jiggle. And on it's gone. They were extremely tight on this one. Them parts. Okay, but they're in place, they're not broken. So we'll try 16 and 17. And let's hope for the same outcome, no broken parts. We don't want broken parts. I've got to the point where I'm bored of broken parts. So, now this could be a very breakable part, looking at that corner there, being so close to the opening of that. So, just have more patience than I would, and slide it on gently. Bit of a jiggle, and there she goes. And then we'll do the same the other side. Bit of a jiggle, gentle persuasion, bit at a time, and yes, there. So now you can see the command area is complete, and not too bad. I could have darkened the detail a little more in my opinion, but I'm not the designer, I don't make them, I have no control. Okie doke. So now we come to the engine units, and I need part 18, which is right there. So we'll get 18 out. Now it says to put this piece in there and then assemble the engines. Now I'm going to do it a different way, because looking at these parts, they're a bit teeny tiny and I don't want to break them. Looking at the lugs in there, my fat fingers, once that's in there, I'm not going to get that fitted. So I'm going to do this slightly off instruction, and I'm going to build the engine system without fitting it first. So I need 19, 20, and out comes the tweezers with the protection. Put that back on. I need that in place, so I don't want to damage the wood. So we'll poke them through. That's 19, 20, and 21. So we'll take 19 first, if it'll come out. There we go. So 19 sits this end. 20 goes in the middle. Making sure they're all straight. Excuse me. And 21 obviously goes on the opposite end. Like so. So your engine mounts are in place. Now I need, excuse me, parts 24. Again, I'm going to get, oh, that keeps falling off. 24, which is there. 25, which is there. And 26, which is there. As you can see, some of the debris from the sprue has come away, so we'll just break that out. So 24. (22, 23, 24). Okay, so 24 sits on this one. Like that. Bit of debris on this one. I'm just taking that out. It's going to be difficult, it's splintered. So I'll take that out. And it goes in the middle, that's part 23. And then again part 22 has got a bit of a splinter in there. If you don't remove it, it's only going to cause you problems when fitting. So we'll remove that as well. There we go. Now wipe your map so that you've got nothing in your way. And there's the main stems for your engine outlets or exhausts or whatever you want to call them. And then we want 25, 26, 27. So 25. These are quite simple, these ones. You've put these on other kits if you're doing them. So there we go. And be careful here, because I am known for breaking these parts, and I'd hate for you to do the same. So that one's in place. 26. 26 is that one. And 27. is the last one on here. Yes. Okay. So they're the engines. Now I'm going to fit them in there as it shows. Now there is a right and a wrong way on this, and I did notice it. So get my tweezers, push that nice and neatly in place, jiggle it. Yep. You see, I would never have got that in with my fat fingers. So I'm just going to take that centre engine out and try and force it in like so. There we go. So she's in. I've got to get that in there. Like that. There we go. So your engines are in place and looks decent. Looks nice. There we go. Okay, so engines are fitted. And now we go to the main bridge. And we need part 28. And it sits aloft up the top. Like the superstructure, it just sits on the top there, nice and neat. Now I need 29. Now these parts are getting tinier and tinier as I go, so please be extra careful. So 29 sits this side like that, and now I need part 30, which is also a teeny tiny part, and it sits on the opposite side there. And as you can see, there's a slight kink on your next tag. Okay, so now I need 34, which is here. Oh, there's something not right here. I think I've jumped the gun here. Yeah, I have. So now I need 31, not 34. So 31 is the main bridge face, and as you can see, it does have a little detail on it. Not a great amount, but it is there. So we'll slip that on. I think it's orientated. Yeah, it appears to be. So there you go. Your main bridge. And then 32 and 33 are your back plates. So 32 first. Wow, that's dangerously small, that, for that little tab. So what I'm going to do is remove that piece, take this piece, is that no, that's the one. Take this piece, I'm going to fit these off kit, as that is extremely tight for such a small piece. don't want to break that tab there. So that's that one. And then I'll just pinch it back on with a larger pair of tweezers. Looks a steep angle, that does. That does look a steep angle. Okay, so I'll put that on, and then we'll pop that back on there. And gently pinch that back on. And that's how it says it goes. Okay, so that sits like that. That's a bit steep to me, but that's what it says. Okay, now I need 34 and 35. Now I know this is 34, so 34 sits there. Okay. And 35 goes on the opposite side, doing exactly the same thing. And these are orientation as well, so just be that little bit extra careful that you're putting it on the right way round. A little bit of a jiggle again. Jiggle it a little bit. There we go. So that's your bridge area. And then I need part 38. Which is here. Which is part of the shield generator. And then these two parts here are the shield deployment units themselves. So we'll set that one in first, supporting what's there. Wow, these parts are so tiny. So I'm going to use the tweezers here. Support it with my nail at the same time. Hopefully getting it in. No, it doesn't want to go in. It's going to, but it doesn't want to. So, again, a bit of a jiggle. Okay, there's a bit of debris on this one. So we'll just nip that off. And then grab the tweezers, turn the kit, and then jiggle again. Okay, so we'll put that piece back in there where it belongs. Hook them down, there you go. And there's your Star Destroyer. And there's spare parts there if you need them. And now I'll just put the base in place. And make sure I've got it the right way round on this one, because it is a little top heavy. And there we go. The first kit that I've done. And before you point it out, no broken pieces. Well, hey. So, once again, although not extremely detailed, we have a Star Destroyer from Incredi builds, and well worth that little bit of extra time, and well worth the money spent. Now then, while I'm here, I'd like to talk about my next build, and I don't know if anybody would be interested, but I may do a video stream of the vintage model company collection of a traditional model aeroplane made from balsa wood. Now this gives coveralls and paper stickers and all sorts of things inside the box. I'll show you in a moment. I won't be doing the coveralls. I've had experience with the coveralls before and it didn't go so well. So let me show you what you get for your money. These kits normally retail around £30, and it gives you a bit of detail on the back here of what you get in the kit. Some nice finished model detail on the box. It's on the packaging itself, but what you want to see is what's in the box. Now I've already been in and prepped some essentials, because when you get them they're rolled up and they come basically like that, and your instructions are rolled up like this. That's your tissue, your coveralls, and that there is your decals or paper glue-ons that represent the aircraft that you're going to build. You get your mold injected nose cone, and you also get a mold injected canopy detail to be added. You get a bit of a thank you letter or pamphlet for memberships and such, and their accessories, and you also get a problem page should you come across one, or this is a membership for SAM 35s. They're a specialist group for the British Model Flying Association, or the BMFA, for aero modelers. So something worth reading, definitely. Now in the kit itself you get your rubber band, as you can see, large rubber band. It is not a whole rubber band. It is a strip of rubber band that once you've placed in your kit you then tie off. You get a cocktail stick, everybody gets those. You get lug nuts for your wheels, and you also get wire for your main prop. You also get sufficient, and I mean this this glue here, there is more than sufficient in this little bottle. It's about 17 mil, but trust me, that is more than enough for this kit. You don't need it. You don't need any more than that. If you need more than that, you've done something wrong. Seriously, done something wrong. You also get a detailed instruction pamphlet. Now, if you do suffer with eye problems, you will need your glasses or magnifications, because the print is a little on the small side. I think they could make this a little bit bigger, but it tells you in stages what you need to do and build, and how to fly or test your kit once you've built it. It even tells you how to trim your aircraft ready for flying. That's final assembly once you've done all this, and you get your balsa. Let me move the box. This is your kit. This is what you need to build this aircraft. The wire is for the undercarriage. Excuse me. And as you can see, all your parts are on 2 or 3 sheets of balsa wood. In this case, it's 3. You can have as many as 7 sheets of balsa. So this is, although a very nice aircraft, it looks simple to build. I have built one of these before and I enjoyed doing it, so I went out and got this one. Now that says 4 sheets, so they must be, yeah, there's 4 sheets of balsa wood, and they are about 2 mil thick, 1-2 mil, something like that. Now, I did say that I prepped instructions. This is the sort of thing that you would get. This is off another aircraft that I built, but this is the sort of markings that you would get. You'd cut them out and you'd glue them in place with your PVA. So that's what the sort of transfer decals you would get. Now your plans are like this. This is how you start your kit. Now then, you will need something for pins to go through your print, and you will need pins, bobble pins, any type of pins. I've got proper T pins. I bought over large T pins purely because I've got big hands and the little pins would be of no use to me whatsoever. But you basically build your aircraft on these blueprints. Everything is flat, so where rounded shapes are needed, you have to sand them. And in this case, I would recommend you get a good quality set of sanding sticks. I use UMPs purely because I've used them for the past 2 years now, and I trust them. They're in my case, they're very forgiving. Well worth the money. But your wheels on here, this is how you get your wheels. These may not be the wheels, but this is how you would get them. And to make a wheel, it would be 3 or 4 of these flat discs, and then you'd sand your wheels to the shape required, as you would with the front cowling. If you're interested in watching me build something like this, then please do let me know so that I know whether to live stream or just video build. It's always great to get plenty of feedback. The more feedback I get for this, the more I know what people would be interested in seeing me do. Now, the last kit I built was a triplane. I didn't video build it, and I wish I had, because when it was finished it was beautiful. It really was. Let me see if I can show you what it finished like. Here we go. This was the finished kit, and as you can see, that was 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces of timber on that front cowling. The wheels were again 4 pieces, and the whole thing went together really nice. I really did enjoy doing this kit. It was well worth the hours that I put into it. It's not something that I'm going to do overnight, but once you get into it and you've shaped everything, it really is nice. I can't say much more than that, to be honest. And that, as you can see, is your rubber band tied off in there. Very fragile. I won't be flying these. I did apply some paint to the engine just to define the work I put in there. Each of those was made. You have to make everything. Nothing is preformed, only the basics. So please do feel free to give me some feedback, and I hope you liked the video. And please do pop over and visit a few of my friends. I'm sure they would appreciate you taking a look at their work too. For now, I'm going to say thank you and have a very nice day. Goodbye.